Okay, well, we'll try the sword version this time. Try to talk a little louder. The last one was a little hard to hear when I was listening to it. About my old-time purple belt from ancient Tong Sudo study years ago. It was easier to get than digging out the kaku obi and then having to refold that damn hakama. Big pain. Okay, we always talked about hand changes. They're forward grip mostly and back grip from the draw. Some people draw backward, some draw forward, but being able to change between the two is very useful, and it's done just about like the club. The only difference in the forward one is that the little finger here helps guide the turn of the sword where you grab it. Coming back, it's almost the same. The thumb opens, come around. And you can do it either way in case you want to beat somebody instead of cut them. Let me try the side here, see if I can get a good picture. Here, with a sword, because of the curvature, it requires a little different momentum to make the swing turn around, right, like this. And back up, you can throw it back or forth. A lot of people will screw it up. There was a funny guy, Iaido Shodan, who was going to do a demonstration in the city one time, and he was watching some of our techniques and said, "Oh, please, please, do this." And then he had the old Duralman blade, you know, shiny aluminum thing, weighed about a half an ounce. And we left, but then we heard later that he came out and went, whoop, and with his fast draw, the blade went flying out in the audience and scared the crap out of people and nearly hit somebody. So anyway, that's pretty much it. Your reverse draw, if you do some stuff, it's useful to be able to change it around. One ordinarily does not do this in the heat of combat, except on rare occasions. Usually in combat, you use the full contact grip changes. So you're here, you can come around there, come there, pull it here, go around back here. That way you don't risk the loss of it. And like I said, the main two, no contact except for the gravity and push changes, are real good for practice and balance, stuff like that. And they do have a couple or three uses in actual situation, but they've got to be practiced and trained real carefully. Otherwise somebody can get in trouble. But if one does lose the grip on the sword, coming here, then the look on the guy's face often will give one time to go rush him and clobber the crap out of him while he's sitting there going, "Whoa, what's that?" Just an interesting thing. Another thing in Bushikan, a lot of times people will pull out to draw, scabbard, pull it out to sheath. We usually don't. Only reason we usually pull out to draw is if we're going to do a side cut, because it gives us a little more clearance and we can turn the saya. But other than that, that's about it. I will relate a funny thing happened in Texas many years ago. Hanshi Brock back invited me down when he was still living in Euless, and there was some karate guy in Fort Worth or Dallas, Fort Worth I think, that was real interested in swords. And so I had my old sword that is now in the hands of a third generation student, the real hand forged one. And anyway, I was discussing these grip changes with him, and I was carrying the thing around reverse grip like this, and I thought, well, let's find a stick for him to practice with. So I went walking around looking for a stick, and the corner of the dojo is a little dark, and I saw a stick, and I've been able to pick it, and I stepped on something and made a misstep, and it pointed me right in the knee right here. Made just a little divot, you know, I mean a little sword tip divot, you know, fingernail size. And you know, when you play with sharp things, occasionally you get stuck. But this guy, the look of amazement and freak out on his face was just so hilarious when the first little drop of blood oozed out. And so he took his sword and went clear to the other side of the dojo and laid it down, and then ran far away from it, and didn't go back as far as I know. And I said, well, rats, the damn thing needs to bleed more than that. I prefer to bleed enough to wash it out from the inside. But anyway, a funny story. The embarrassing things are the funniest ones. Hope people will laugh about that. Now I'm going to walk and turn this gizmo off and see if this came through.